Hello and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Not even the online mode, we're actually playing story mode. And we're going to be doing something that's been requested just dozens and dozens of times across the channel. So we're going to be doing the M1901 or M1898, I think is what they call it in the game to make it less anachronistic, customization video. So we're going to be doing it like we do with a lot of the gun videos that I've done on the channel before. I'm just going to be showing you 5 different designs for this gun that I think all look pretty dope. And so if you're looking how to customize your gun and you want to make it look cool, hopefully this video will be useful for that. But before we get into the custom designs, why don't I just tell you a little bit about the history of this gun. A semi-automatic handgun, the M1899 deals good damage at short range, and its magazine-loaded ammunition allows for swift reload. This gun has an ammo capacity of 8 rounds and can use regular, high-velocity, split-point, express, and explosive pistol ammo. The pistol is based on the older version of the FN Browning M1900 called the Modele 1899. The FN Browning M1900 is a single-action semi-automatic pistol designed in 1896 by John Browning for Fabrique Nationale den Herstel and produced in Belgium at the turn of the 20th century. It was the first production handgun to use a slide. The design was presented to an arms manufacturer, FN Herstel, in 1898, with production commencing the following year, then under the designation the Modele 1899. In 1900, an improved design featuring primarily a shorter barrel and wider grips was introduced as the M1900. These designations were applied retroactively after FN began manufacture of the other Browning pistol designs. Initially, the M1900 was marketed as simply the Pistolet Browning, or the Browning pistol. Production ceased only 11 years later, with a total of about 700,000 units having been produced. United States President Theodore Roosevelt owned a mother-of-pearl gripped Modele 1899, which he regularly kept on his person and in his bedside drawer. It now resides in the NRA Firearms Museum. The pistol was popular in China from its introduction through World War II, and was often copied and used as the basis for other designs. State-run arsenals produced serialized production runs for warlord militias, and local craftsmen produced one-off handmade versions. The North Korean Type 64 pistol is a copy of the M1900. Specimens examined by Western authorities were marked with the date of 1964. A suppressed variant was produced that featured a shortened slide to allow the threaded barrel to protrude far enough to attach the suppressor. The weapon is chambered for .32 ACP, also known as 7.65 by 17mm Browning semi-rimmed. And so the first variant of this, or design I should say of this that we're going to be doing is this one right in front of you, and this one I call the Golden Scorpion. It's very edgelordy, but one of the rare instances where I think the overuse of gold actually looks pretty dope. So let's just go through it. For the grip, we're going to be rocking the ironwood grip. For the length, we're going to have the short barrel. For the varnish, we're going with the Cocobolo varnish. We're going to have a scorpion carved into the grip. Full body Victorian engravings with blue metal inlay. And then our metals are just like you see them here. Gold for the barrel, gold for the frame, blue for the sight, and blue for the trigger. And that is the entire gun as it is. Like I said, typically I don't do a lot of gold, but I think with this specific gun, the engraving adds enough of a secondary color to give it a good accent, and it just looks interesting, you know? Whereas most times I find it cringe, here I don't. It's definitely not my favorite style, but I do kind of like it. So that's our first design we're going to be looking at today. Our second gun design is the Steely Dan. Don't ask why, you know, I just go with the first thing that comes to mind when I do one of these designs. So, as far as our components for this one, we're going to have the pearl grip and the long barrel. We're not going to have anything carved into the grip. For our engravings, we're going to do Art Nouveau with the black and steel inlay. We're going to keep it on the barrel, but we're going to take it off of the frame, so it's only engraved on the barrel. And then for our metals, it'll look like this. So iron for the barrel, black and steel for the frame, iron for the sight, and iron for the trigger. And so altogether, I like this one. I was kind of going for somewhat of a futuristic look to it, and I think we landed on that. It needed the longer barrel for it because it looked too normal with the shortened barrel. But that way we have the contrasting white slash silver and black accents that look really interesting. I actually genuinely like the way this one looks, and I think it's one of the, if you're going for a modern gun design, doing it exactly like this here gets you past the modern era, so it's actually interesting like that. So that is our second gun design for this gun. Alright, for our third design for this gun, we have what I'm calling the Beagle, and I have that because I carved an eagle on it, and it's got brass, so it's like a brass eagle or a beagle. I hope you like the name. Let's start with components. For the grip, we have the basic grip on here. For the barrel, we went with the short barrel, and then of course improved rifling and improved sights. For our varnish on the grip, we have the mesquite varnish. For our carving on the grip, we have the eagle, which is important because otherwise the name won't make any sense. For the engravings, we did the full ornamental engraving with the browned steel metal inlay. And then for the metals, we have them as you see them here. Brown steel for the barrel, brass for the frame, brass for the sight, and brown steel for the trigger. I like this one. It's one of my favorite color combinations. It's a great combination of the brown steel and brass. There's lots of different ways you could do this. It also looks good with like the brass inlay on the all brown steel frame or the brown steel on the all brown steel frame. Both of those look good. I really like it. The color combination is subtle and it looks really good on this gun design in my opinion. So that is our third design. Let's move on to the fourth. At our fourth design, we have a silver baller, which I quite enjoy. This one is obviously the name. If you don't recognize it, I'm not going to tell you what it's from because you should know more about gamer culture. But what we're going for is a more modern looking inox framed gun. I think it does a pretty good job of looking like a 1911 if you do it this way, but I really like design. So we're going to start with components. We're going to go with the ebony grip, the long barrel, improved rifling, and improved sights. We're not going to carve anything into the grip, so we just have the stock checkered design. For our engravings, it's going to be full body Art Nouveau engravings with blackened steel inlay. And for the metals, it will be nickel plating for the barrel, nickel plating for the frame, blackened steel for the sight, and blackened steel for the trigger. And so altogether, like I said, a very modern design makes it look, I think in my opinion, the only thing that makes it look maybe even slightly more modern is just no engraving at all, just pure nickel and blackened steel, which also looks quite good, and I, like it quite a bit. But I do think that the engraving is one, like this gun has one of the best full body engravings out of any gun in the game, so I like using it on a lot of these more elaborate designs. But yeah, that's the silver baller. Let's move on to the final design that I have for this gun. And so for our fifth and final design, we have the DTG Classic. And now I went back and forth on one design element of this, and it was the grip. I went back and forth between the wood and the pearl grip, but at the end of the day, I couldn't beat that color combination that I love so very, very much. And so that's why I ended up going with a wood grip. So let's start with components. For our grip, we're going to start with the ironwood grip. Our barrel length is the short barrel. We're going to do improved rifling and improved sights. Our varnish on the grip should be the mesquite varnish. Our carving on it should be the buck. For the engravings, full body Art Nouveau with the gold inlay. And then for our metals, the blued steel for the barrel and the frame, and the gold for the sight and the trigger. All put together, like I said, I love this one. I think it's probably the design I use most frequently for this gun in this game. Like I said, I like all of these designs, so I go back and forth on using a lot of them. But this one is the one that I probably love more than any other one. So that is all 5 of my basic designs. But just because this is probably the last weapon customization video I'm ever going to do for this game, and, for extra fun, why don't I also throw in a factory finish? And so for our factory finish, we've got an extra simple gun here, but it does a good job of looking like a 1911, which I know is what a lot of people in this game like to imitate. So let's just go down the list. For our grip, we have the ironwood grip. For our barrel, we have the long barrel, improved rifling, and improved sights. Our varnish is mahogany. No carvings, no engravings, and blackened steel for the barrel, blackened steel for the frame, brown steel for the sight, and brown steel for the trigger. All of this put together makes it a very, very stock-looking factory 1899 in the game, but like I said, most people are going for that M1911 look, which isn't even what this gun is based on, but it looks similar enough at a glance that a lot of people buy it. So that is our factory finish, which is your bonus one, so that means not just 5 designs, 6 designs in this video. How could you want anything more? So that is all for the designs that we're doing. And so that is where we're going to end today's video. So if you were one of the people waiting all those long, potentially years for some people, for me to finally get around to making this video, now I've done it. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you like these designs. If you've got any designs that you always use for these guns and you want to let me know about them, feel free to do so down in the comment section below. Otherwise, if you've got requests for other videos you'd like me to make, whether they're Red Dead Online or Red Dead Redemption 2 or a different game entirely, I can't guarantee that I will do them, but I will probably see them, and if they're good suggestions, there's a good chance that I will do them eventually. So with all that being said, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.